I'm Ryan from Barbell PT and Performance, and today I'm joined by my client Ellis. So he's going to tell us a little bit about like what injury he's been dealing with, what his story is, and all that sort of stuff. So thank you for agreeing to do this with me. I really appreciate it, man. Can you just kind of tell us what the overall injury was that you were dealing with before you ended up reaching out to us?
Yeah, so probably about, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago, deadlifting all the time, kind of working out, and I tweaked my back a little bit. But the past 3 years, I've had two herniated discs, or diagnosed two herniated discs. So kind of my daily life has been affected, and not really to do all the sports and all the activities, weightlifting that I want to do. Um, so reached out to Ryan and kind of got that process started to get do something right.
Fair enough, man. Can you tell me a little bit more about like how specific that was impacting you, like lifting wise, and then what other stuff like outside the gym you were having like trouble with or couldn't do because of this thing?
Yeah, I mean it was affecting just me doing kind of chores around the house. So
Mm.
taking out the trash, sweeping, vacuuming, doing yard work. Um, couldn't really do things for a sustained amount of time, or couldn't bend over enough to accomplish the tasks. And then my stress relief is working out, and I wasn't able to really do any of the exercises I wanted to do. I just could kind of um, do a lot of isolation stuff, and that was about it. No compound movements, no real moving around. So it was a big factor in kind of planning my day, and then just waking up in pain all the time.
Yeah, for sure, man. I know that like personally speaking, I love squats, deadlifts, clean snatches. Like if I can't train those, then I still enjoy training, but not nearly as much. I just don't get the same thing out of it. For you, like with training being a big form of like stress release for yourself and not being able to train the way that you want to, what sort of like impact did that have on like overall stress, kind of like the mental, emotional side of things?
Oh, big, big, because yeah, I was saying that is my stress relief, and I can't get my stress relief, then I'm not sleeping, I'm not eating right. I just am generally not a good person to be around, kind of like everybody when they're stressed out.
Hmm.
But yeah, it took a big toll, and I think if I'm able to like exhaust that energy out and kind of release the anger or the stress, then that makes my day to day life and my wife's life better.
That's fair. So like obviously like you said you've been dealing with this for a while now. Prior to reaching out to us, like what other methods or things had you been trying to actually like address it either on your own or with other coaches, providers, that sort of thing?
Yeah, so I did the general YouTube searching, went to orthopedic doctor, got all the pills and pain meds. And had shots. I did the cortisone shots in my back. That lasted for maybe like a week if it really even did anything. I went to typical PT for almost a year. I've done massages, kind of everything in the book to treat what I was trying, or what to treat what I thought I was doing right.
I mean, you were doing a ton of stuff. Like for that physical therapy that you had been through, what was like that experience like for you? Like what were they having you do, stuff like that?
I mean, the typical kind of little bit of band work, the dead bugs, the kind of increase your strengthening your core, but it wasn't really geared to, I'd say, like a lifting aspect. It was more kind of sedentary, like hey, you need to relax, you need to take breaks, you need like just stay off of it, sit around, and it wasn't really specific for what I could get out of it for stress relief.
Hmm. Yeah, that's fair, man. With that type of PT, like, did you see any form of progress, or just like was minimal to no progress at that time?
It was minimal. I mean, I did see a little bit, but definitely did not strengthen my core back to where I just didn't have a relapse or
Mhm.
kind of a flare up all the time.
Yeah. So when you were working with them, obviously, like you were probably going to the clinic, what, like two, three times a week for a while, like doing the PT stuff there, having the home rehab plan. Um, what, if anything, do you feel like had been missing from the plan, like at that point in time?
It was all geared towards just a kind of daily life and being able to marginally improve on what you got. There wasn't really a goal to be able to lift or whatnot. They kind of advised against that. It was more like, hey, here, do your exercises, kind of sit around. If there's something that makes it worse or something you think is going to flare it up, don't do it.
Hmm.
Just sit there.
Okay. All right, got it, man. And then for you, like what was that turning point where you tried kind of going to PT, the orthopedist, doing this thing on your own? Um, at what point were you just like, I need to do something like totally different in order to like get back to the lifting that you want to be doing?
I had another flare up, and I was just browsing Instagram, and yeah, I just was just done with trying the random things and spending all the money on the PT and the dry. Or I also did dry needling and all the little things, and um, I just started looking around for all right, what's else? What are other lifters doing that had back pain and are going through injuries? Like, am I just doing something wrong? So I just started researching that more and more.
Hmm. Okay, awesome, man. Was there anything kind of about like my page or what we do that really kind of like stood out to you as far as like this being a potential good option for you?
Well, the first thing that I noticed when I clicked on it was you had all had a good comment section. It had and another thing you had was you said, "Hey, we're going to keep lifting. We're going to
Hmm.
lift. We're going to lift. We're going to lift, and we're going to modify the lifts." But that's kind of what I saw when I was scrolling through there, and that was music to my ears because I mean I haven't been lifting. I mean I was lifting, but not really what I want to be doing. It was all
Hmm.
modifications to go around pain. But that was the kind of first thing that stood out is your videos where you're talking about, all right, yep, you have back pain. We're going to deadlift. We're going to work through that.
Hmm.
We're gonna change up the what you're doing and then gradually progress up. And that was what really drew my eye to it.
Awesome, man. Before like actually pulling the trigger and like deciding to work with us, do you have any like specific concerns, whether it was um the fact that we're like fully online, kind of like the insurance thing, anything like that?
The online thing was a big question for me because I had just been to general PT where it was one on one, and in my brain it was hard to kind of wrap around. Okay, well, how is this person going to help me if they're not actually with me or seeing what I'm doing? Um, that was probably the big hesitation. But once I kind of talked to you and we looked through a plan and you talked about what you guys did, it eased my mind on that concern.
Okay, solid, man. So tell me a little about kind of like the progress and results that you've seen so far, because I think that we're now in what our fifth month together.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, yeah. So
significant.
tell me like what you've kind of gotten back to.
Yeah. I've squatted again. So like it sounds from what I used to be, but I can finally squat 135 for reps where before I couldn't even do a PVC pipe on my back. Um, I can deadlift again. So I'm progressing. I was getting pain when I was benching when I was doing my leg drive, so that's gone. I can walk around the house not in pain. I can take the dogs out. I can do my daily life now and not have a mental just worry the entire time that my back's going to give out or that I'm going to need my wife to help me up off the floor.
Hmm.
It is like truly life changing at the moment for just my mental well being to be able to just go on and not kind of think about a flare up. So it's progressively like as we've gone, the lifts have gotten better and better and better, and my pain has decreased.
So man, that's obviously like the best of both worlds for sure.
Yeah,
Um, can you tell me a little bit more about like how that has changed things for you from that like mental and emotional side of things, like not having to constantly worry about your back and all this sort of stuff?
yeah. My stress level is way down, and we've been going through, and sometimes you do have flare ups as you're making progress, but uh, the tools that I've been armed with makes the flare ups very manageable, and I just can go through them. But I mean, yeah, just I'm in a way better mood all the time. I'm not grumpy from trying to get off the couch or get out of a chair when I can walk around at work and not die. So it's been, yeah, awesome.
Awesome, man. And what goals do you want to start working towards now that you've gotten back to more consistent squatting and barbell training, you're having just like less pain overall? Like where do you want to get to next?
I mean, I still want to get back to my at least a 315 squat for reps, and that's I feel like that's achievable now. That like I think the breaking through the mental barrier of just squatting
Hmm.
is helping significantly. But that my main goal is 315 for reps again on squat, and then hey, if that happens, let's keep going.
Yeah, those are awesome goals, man. So, like, last question for you, Ellis. Like, if you were talking to somebody who was dealing with like a similar injury, kind of like thinking about working with us, but was on the fence, like, what piece of advice or what would you say to that person?
I think I would just make sure to schedule a consultation with you or like the reach out call because that answered any of my questions. Like it's like you're talking about. It's all online. The insurance that it's you can walk through that any questions that you have, and it kind of eases your mind. And then even on that call, you or on our first call, you put together, hey, this is what we're going to do for your back. This is like we're going to go from this to this to this. Like you have a specific plan for a specific injury, and it really
Hmm.
shows you guys know what you're doing, and it instills confidence.
Awesome, Ellis. Well, again, thank you so much for hopping on this call with me. It's been awesome working with you, and I'm glad that you've seen some really good progress so far, and can't wait to see what other like progress you continue to make.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.